Reverend C.L. Bryant is on the line, Baptist minister, Tea Party member, former president of NAACP's Garland, Texas chapter, and the filmmaker of Runaway Slave. RunawaySlaveMovie.com is the website. Reverend Bryant, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm assuming you are, well, maybe you're not. Are you in Tampa?
I am in Tampa at the RNC on Radio Row speaking to you right now.
Okay, great. I'm curious as a Tea Partier what your take is on the Republican platform and the Republican candidates, and in particular how, some of the Ron Paul arguably is or isn't the Tea Party, depending on who you talk to, but how he's been treated as well.
I am a fellow with Freedom Works in Washington, D.C., and we espouse, our president, CEO, and President Matt Kibbe espouse this idea that sometimes to defeat the Democrats, you first must defeat the Republicans. And that may be exactly what is needed to bring change to Washington, D.C.
Now, Freedom Works is the organization that was run and started by multimillionaire and K Street lobbyist Dick Armey. Is that right?
Well, yes. Dick Armey is, in fact, the chairman of our organization.
All right. I just want to keep. I can't keep my organization straight. So then, how if you're working for Freedom Works, which is a big, well-funded, well-oiled machine that operates out of K Street here in Washington, D.C., how can you call yourself a Tea Party member?
There's a famous line from a famous movie, my friend, that says all of us are a part of the same hypocrisy. And the only thing that I can do as a citizen is, in fact, try to work with those who are trying to do the best for our country. Making money is the name of the game in this country. And, of course, none of us, not even yourself, with your ideas, can escape those who have great wealth.
So you would worship mammon over man or God?
I worship no one but the Creator.
But you just said money is the highest value.
Live in this country. I worship no one but God.
Okay, but you just said that money is the highest value, and if there are millionaires and billionaires, we have to defer to them.
I said that we all live in a country where there are people of great wealth, and we all have to work with them, regardless if we like it or not.
Yeah. Why not work to have policies where we don't live in an oligarchy, but rather we live in a republic, a democratic republic, where the average person has a say that is just as powerful as somebody like multimillionaire lobbyist Dick Armey, the chairman of Freedom Works?
In his day, Thomas Jefferson would have been a multimillionaire lobbyist.
Actually, no. Thomas Jefferson died broke.
Well, Thomas Jefferson may have died broke, but when he penned the Declaration of Independence, he was a very wealthy man.
No, he was not. When he penned the Declaration of Independence, his net worth was less than $100,000 in today's money.
Well, sir, I tell you what.
The richest of all the founders when the Declaration was signed was John Hancock, and he was worth $700,000.
$100,000. It sounds as though you hate people who have money.
No, I don't. Not at all.
It really sounds that way, though.
What I don't like is people who have a lot of money corrupting our political process. I believe that our founders wanted to have a political process that was we the people, the first three words of the preamble to the Constitution, rather than we the rich people.
I believe our founders wanted us to pursue life, liberty, and our pursuits of happiness, which means that in America you have the ability to make great wealth. And there's nothing wrong with that.
So in your mind, the American dream isn't the classic, get a good job, raise your kids, put them through school, own your home, have a pension in your when you die in your retirement and die with dignity. That's not the American dream. In your mind, the American dream is to get as rich as you can, filthy rich.
No, the American dream is to take your God-given talents as far as they will take you. If that means they take you to wealth, then fine. If it takes you to comfort, that's fine. Or poverty, then that's fine. None of us are guaranteed anything, but the opportunity for great wealth is there. And you would be totally hypocritical if you told me that if the people in America or anywhere else in this world don't want to live comfortably.
No, obviously, the people in America would love to live comfortably, and we've seen the middle class now. I mean, the median income in the United States, individual income right now, is $25,600 a year. It's a disaster. It has gone down $3,000 since Ronald Reagan's presidency, whereas, from 1930 to the mid-1980s, every single year, wages were going up along with productivity. Productivity has continued to rise, but wages have been flat since Reagan, and all of the result of that productivity, that profit, has been going to CEOs and to people like Mitt Romney. Don't you find something wrong with that system?
Yes, I find something wrong with the progressive liberal system that has kept black folks blocked from enjoying those fruits by poisoning their minds against the free market system. The idea that... Wait
a minute. You're saying that the corporate-run free market is more important than our we the people-run democracy?
We the people-run democracy, as far as black folks is concerned, have been poisoned by the idea that someone has their foot on your neck.
So the corporate free market is going to help black folks how?
Corporate free market has always created jobs for everyone. What black people should do is participate in the creation of those corporations.
Well, a lot of them do.
Sorry?
A lot of them do.
Yes, a lot of them do, but not enough of them do. So many of them who are entrepreneurial, out slinging drugs in the street with that entrepreneurial spirit, are poisoned to the fact that that's the only way they can make it.
Well, let's change that. Let's have the Small Business Administration actually give loans to small businesses.
I'm sorry, again, I didn't hear you. It's very noisy. I'm sorry.
I understand. I said let's change that. Let's have the Small Business Administration actually give loans to small businesses, particularly in underserved or deprived areas.
In that sense, I'm almost in agreement with you, because when conservatives come into the black community, they don't really want to hear about social issues. They want to hear how they can get their business on the road. And so I agree with you. There should be regulations removed that will make it easier for small business, and business in particular.
Can you name one regulation? I mean, I'm a small businessman. I run a business here. We've got about, I think, 13 or 14, maybe 15 employees altogether. And I don't know of any regulations that are making it hard for me to operate this business. Can you name one regulation that is impeding small business people in America?
One in particular, the minimum wage itself. The minimum wage itself. Now, I know we could get into one.
Well, I pay all of my employees more than the minimum wage.
I'm sorry?
I pay all of my employees more than the minimum wage. So
good for you. Bully for you. I wish that every small business could afford to pay the minimum wage. This is the situation. You have this guy coming from across the border who will work for $5.10 an hour. You have an American who has to work for $5.70 or $5.50 an hour, whatever it is these days. Do the math. Who are you wanting to pay?
Well, no, I understand. We have an illegal employer problem in the United States, and we have ever since Ronald Reagan stopped enforcing the laws against employing people who are not citizens. And prior to 1986, we didn't have that problem, and we've had a really serious problem like that ever since. But that's a whole completely different issue from the minimum wage. Are you suggesting? My take on the minimum wage is that if you're running a business, and your business is so badly run or so badly conceived that you can't afford to pay your workers at least a living wage, then you have no right to run that business. That business has no right to exist.
Obviously, you are very prosperous in your business. And obviously, you don't understand that there are people who want to work for less than the minimum wage. And there are people who would prosper more if, in fact, they could pay what was necessary.
How do you really think that somebody? I mean, the minimum wage, is $7-8 an hour. $7.25 an hour right now.
$7.25, $7.50, somewhere.
Shane,
in that
do you know
range.
what that is per year?
Of course, I know what it is.
What is that per year?
Poverty is below poverty is what it is. But
right.
That's not the problem.
So how can somebody live on that?
You have everything else that is too high and so high. There's a guy in your area, I can't remember his name, but he says he ran on the rent's too damn high.
I had him on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, and when we talk about everything else, well, look at the gas prices. I'm from Louisiana. There's an all-out war against natural gas.
So let's raise the minimum wage so people have enough money in their pocket to buy things and stimulate the economy.
Well, how come we can't open up the gas and oil fields and pay them a heck of a lot more?
We are doing that. President Obama has opened more oil fields than any president in history before him. He's opened more gas fields than any president in history before him. And you've got tens of thousands of leases that are out there right now that many of them aren't even being used.
That is the biggest lie that's ever been told. Every gas field that Obama has opened has been on federal land.
You want him to start taking away private land?
He doesn't need to take away anything. He just needs to get out of the way of free enterprise.
Get out of the way of the billionaires. Get out of the way of the corporate free market.
I'm not a billionaire, but I lease my property to gas and oil companies.
Okay, I don't think that the president is trying to stop you, is he?
I think the president would absolutely stop me if he could.
Okay, Reverend C.L. Bryant.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Visit ThomHartmann.com for audio and video archives.
The website, RunawaySlaveMovie.com. Reverend Bryant, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me on.